my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within. Oh, I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs, too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. Oh no.
Okay, unfortunately we're live. Unfortunately I'm here. That's what I look like. Hi. So, so yes, I shaved for this. I need a haircut. I am very willing to buzz all of this off because it's killing me. So yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. Okay, guys, can you not be creepy in chat, please? Okay, so I'm really looking to write most of the time, but you know what you gotta do. Okay, so Colton, I'm gonna shave all this off probably tomorrow, so we'll get there. Okay, so this is the awards presentation for the end of the school year for 2019-2020. Just a quick note. I made this up in like 2 hours, so we'll see. And also, I stole this from Coach McGee out at Springfield, so props to him for the idea. But so just general things. We played 57 official matches this year, plus like a bajillion scrims and practices, which is really impressive given how small our program is. Thank you, chat, for being interested in the actual presentation. I hate all of you. I hate all of you. Okay, so our year started off with us getting a computer lab and, getting this whole setup. And that computer lab took me a long time to negotiate and figure out, and I had to really work with admin and get that figured out. But thanks to a lot of people in the upper administration, this computer lab was paid for with no fundraising on our part and just bought outright. And due to me negotiating with some friends over at MSI, we got some free stuff as well. So it was really nice to have this full computer lab, and I know a lot of our players really appreciated the computer lab as well because it was a big improvement to last year for those of you who were here last year. So going through the seasons we had, we started off the year with Rocket League, which was varsity and JV. Varsity we had Brady Kepler, Elijah Garcia, and Isaac Benner. JV we had Gavin Heaton, Josh Dinsmore, Preet Sandhu, and Nate Van Holcomb. All of those are freshmen, besides Nate. So our Rocket League team has a lot of longevity going into next year. Unfortunately, the record wasn't so great, but we get there eventually, right? They're all freshmen. Yikes, thanks to Jith. So we had a good time with that team, and we ended up hosting state finals. So we hosted state finals between Springfield, Naperville North, Rockford, Guilford, and I forgot what school that was. Oh God, who was the one in yellow? Schaumburg. That was Schaumburg. Uh, it's Schaumburg. So we hosted finals. It was a really good time. We had a lot of great memories there, and we had a full stream setup going and all that stuff, and went very well. Even though no other admins came down here, besides the one who lived here, so that was nice. Okay, next we had the league. We only had a varsity team this year. They went 2-1-2 and took eighth in state, or took top eight. We then played in the playoffs and got knocked out at eighth, whatever it is. So top lane we had Daniel Hendricks. We had jungle was Lane Smith. Mid lane was Haley Becker. ADC was Colton Hampson, and support was Joan Gonzalez. Some quick notes about these teams. Well, the underline Haley got the most opponent MVP votes for the entire year because the league started opponent MVP votes this past year. So Haley got the most by far. She smashed a lot of the games we had, and any win we had was more or less on her shoulders. Also, props to Colton for role swapping to a really not fun role because ADC is hell. And then also props to Lane, Daniel, and Jawan for learning the game on really short notice. This team was cobbled together, and we took top eight, which I'm really, really proud of. So just the league team chose the corner as as their their spot, I guess, and ended up making it work pretty well. So it was really good to see that these teams work together and they gelled pretty fast. Uh, Meanwhile, Overwatch Varsity went 4-2-1 and just took third in state 3 days ago. Uh, Dalton is still not happy with me, but it is what it is. So we took third in state. We have main tank Lane Smith, off tank Ajith Baiju. DPS were Tyler Leach and Logan Bettenhausen, with Logan getting the most votes from opponents as MVP of the match. Main heal was Riley Habercorn, and then flex was Josh Eider, although Riley and Josh both really played main heal because of the meta, but it is what it is. And I realized later that Logan technically played on the wrong account in our third place match. Logan technically played on the wrong account in our third place match. He played on Ghost, not Echo. So, yeah. Nobody noticed, and it's still the same player, so I'll take that. So here's them set up. I think everyone brought at least one thing that was their own gear. I know you guys were like the gear hounds. Tyler had like 16 bajillion keyboards to cycle through. And here's us when we hosted Springfield here for the LAN, where we beat them the first time. And they weren't happy with us. And then this is the play that some of you may recognize as the thing that I've been getting yelled at for, because we shouldn't be doing this apparently. But this was a really mean play that we pulled on the overtime map 3, Kings Row, where Logan got teleported on top of the statue on Kings Row first point and just took him to town. And so that was the fun one. And then here's our playoff bracket from this past. Okay, yeah, Lane, I'll get there. So here's the playoff bracket from our the tournament we just played, which is the third play, or the Spring Invitational. So we beat Cobden in the first round, lost Napier North in the second round, which Napier North creamed Central 4-0. It was offensive. And then the bronze match, we took third place in state, and it was a 3-0. And beforehand, a certain coach added me in the IHSEA Discord, saying he paid a streamer to say good luck to his team, and they're gonna beat our team, the Springfield coach. And we then 3-0'd them, and a certain comment was said in post-game chat that certain players may have been yelled at for. Not by me, though, because I was cool with it. So we all have fun here, and in the end, Springfield's a good friend of the program. And I'm pretty happy that we ended up giving it back to them in spades after they showed us up in the first scrim we played, because Riley got bullied by Logan to basically follow him. Because that's kind of just how that worked out. Meanwhile, our gigantic JV roster took fourth in state, with off-tank Ryan Euler, main tank Jacob Janke, and Daniel Ocasio. They kind of swapped around after some roster swaps. Ben Lear, Ben Straley, and Philip Straley all played DPS, with Ben Straley doing a lot of really clutch plays for that team. His Reaper ults were really good. We had basically David Doyle and Caden Meyer were both flex heals, main heals. Healing is a weird category. And then we had subs Adam Lovegrove, Brady Bick, and Jeremiah Jones. Our JV had a pretty wide roster and played a lot of different variations of the roster. Not intentional. And Lane, my camera is small for a reason. Let's go with that. So we had a lot of our rosters move around, and it was... I'm really proud of how our captain Ryan Euler managed to pull these groups together, and it was interesting seeing how these players came together. I'm not making it bigger because it'll obscure something on the screen. No. So these teams played very well together, and I'm really proud of how JV advanced this year as well, because it was pretty impressive. So here's a JV gang. This is one variation of the roster of like 16. We took fourth in state after a 1-1-3 loss to Lake Forest in the third place match. So we beat Roxana 3-0, got 3-0'd by Lions, and then lost 1-1-3 to Lake Forest in the third place match, taking fourth in state. So it was a rough season for these guys. They had a lot of roster swaps, and I'm really, really proud of how the JV group came together to unify around just trying to grind out wins as much as possible. No, Ajith, stop. Ajith, can you not be weird? Okay, so now on to awards. No, I'm not giving you trophies. No, I'm not made of money. Instead, it's just this is stuff I'm going to record going in the future and just awards going year over year. So first is the academics, so looking at your grades, and I had to go email counseling for these grades because I don't have them actually. I'm off the screen there. Yeah, I'm covering up Ryan's name. So I have freshmen Elijah Garcia, Jacob Jenke, Daniel Acosta, and Josh Dinsmore were our nominees for freshmen. Sophomore nominees were Caden, Daniel, David, and Ryan. Junior nominees were Logan, Haley, Josh, and Tyler as our only 4 juniors. And our only 4 seniors were Ajith, Colton, Lane, and Riley. And, I mean, if you want me to expose your grades on stream, I can do that, but I probably shouldn't do that. So instead, we have our winners. So our freshmen had 3 guys all with the same GPA, you bunch of nerds. We had Elijah, Jacob, and Janiel all took the same grade point average back from freshman year. Meanwhile, Caden, Josh, and Riley were our... Hey, I misspell a thing, it's not my fault. Don't you yell at me. So Caden, Josh, and Riley all took the awards to their respective grades as well. I believe, discounting the people who've only had 1 semester of grades officially, so out of the sophomore, juniors, and seniors, I believe Josh had the highest one. Riley, I'll give the seniors later and discuss the senior GPAs, because I really need to yell at some of them for that ones. So next is to Rookie of the Year. The award is given to the freshman whose in-game performance and real-world character shows the most promise for their high school esports careers. These are all our freshman players who I see as really strong rookies in the team and can carry us forward as we keep going. We have Brady Kepler, Josh Dinsmore, both of them, Isaac Benner, which are all Rocket League players. Then Daniel Acosta and Joan Gonzalez from Overwatch and League, respectively. And our winner is Brady Kepler. He put up a lot of results for us, and he's a motivating factor behind a lot of the behavior on the team. He ended up pushing forward a lot of positive behavior with the group and put a lot of focus towards the teams. Because I remember that he would be like relentlessly positive and always grinding out. Rig scam. Oh my god. My god, guys. Also, for those of you who are wondering, I will upload this to my school YouTube channel shortly here. I'm dual recording and streaming, so we'll see how that works out. Next, this is named after a player named Internet Hulk who passed away a couple years ago. He was known for his heart and leadership most on his teams. He played for Team Liquid for a while. And this is really just given to players who have a lot of leadership and heart and were really just role models for any group they had. So we had Josh Eiter, Ryan Euler, your name's pronounced wrong by the way, Lane Smith, Ajith Baiju, and Brady Kepler, all of whom did very well. But in the end, I have Josh Eiter as the guy who takes it because he is like obscenely positive, and I actually have no idea how he does it. It is ridiculously positive, and it's infectious, and I think he's really helped the Overwatch team not be a toxic waste dump sometimes, because the Overwatch team all hates the game already, so they need some help. Next, the Clutch Minister Award goes to anyone who had the most clutch plays during high-pressure situations during their season. So we have Isaac Benner of Rocket League, Tyler Leach of Overwatch, Haley Becker of League, Logan Bentonhausen of Overwatch, and Ben Straley of Overwatch. You guys are spamming chat, my god. And so in the end, it did go to Logan Bentonhausen, and I actually had it as a tie between him and Ben Straley up until this past week, where he what was it? The most distinct play came from the first map, where was it? First map, it was Junkertown, where he switched to Tracer on the attack, and just went behind the Rhine, suicide pulse bomb 2 people, grabbed the Reinhardt and was at a mercy, and won us that fight and got them going forward. But I mean, 2-man pulse bomb on overtime cart is like really important. So that swung in my favor, and Logan takes the win for that because he is a really good in clutch situations, even though he hates the game. Riley, don't start. So Theory Crafter. Theory Crafter is the guy who did like the most strategic theory crafting for the team, because I had a lot of students come to my room like every freaking day giving me ideas for dumb things. So Isaac Benner drove a lot of theory crafting and like rotation stuff for Rocket League. Juan Gonzalez and Colton Hampson drove a lot of stuff towards just weird team comps. I don't know what you guys are practicing in your solo queue games. And then Logan, honestly, Logan's on here more or less just for that play on Kings Row. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. He's on there for that Kings Row play. And I have it going to Colton because, holy crap, Colton gave me so many weird ideas. I don't know how many mage bot lanes he threw at me. So there's so many mage bot lanes. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but some of these bot lanes actually worked. He's the one who came up with the double jungle strat at the start of the season when jungle XP sucked. So props to Colton for having like an idea for everything. He made drafting so much easier. Forgetfulness. This is a fun one. Award given the esports athlete most likely to leave some of their crap in my lab. This one has an interesting. I had a hard time deciding this one. I'm not gonna lie. We had Tyler Leach, Ajith Baiju, Ben Straley, Ryan Euler, and Preet Sandhu. 4 of them are Overwatch players, which gives me some interesting thoughts about Overwatch. But I had a very, very, very hard time thinking about the winner for this one. I'm not gonna lie. And it does end up going to Tyler Leach because he would leave his mouse in there like every day. Every single practice, he'd leave his mouse in the lab. Or his mouse dongle or his headset dongle. Like, oh wait, names are so hard today. Holy crap. Whatever. Names are hard. I'm reading the wrong thing. It's Ajith. Because Tyler left his crap in the lab, but Ajith had to message me to get his crap every single time, including his Chromebook like a bunch of times. Ajith left his Chromebook there so much. Yeah, you left your Chromebook there a lot. And actually, one second, I think I have it here somewhere. A certain other player left me a present. Does that certain other player want to speak up in chat now? There's a certain player who left me crap in the lab that they didn't take home with me. This is Lanes. This is Lanes. Come get your crap. Come next year, I'll get it to you. And whatever, I'll roll over that eventually. Most improved, given the esports athlete who has improved the most over the course of their season. We had a lot of players who would grind out time. You are not going to your house. I swear to God. You're not going to my house. No, please. So most improved, we had a lot of players who put in a lot of time, and the Rocket League team especially made massive improvements, as well as JV Overwatch. They made massive improvements. And in the end, I have to give it to Gavin Heaton, because he went from barely being able to hit the ball to aerialing in the course of like 5 weeks. He ended up taking putting a lot of time in Rocket League and making it a game that he greatly enjoyed, and he's going to be a leader for next year, for sure, because he was grinding up the game nonstop. Lane, it's not that. Chatterbox Award. I'm sure there's a certain team that knows exactly who I'm going to give this to without any other thought. So the Chatterbox Award is given the esports athlete who is the most vocal person on their esports team. It's going to be between Josh Eider, Isaac Benner, Lane Smith, Janiel Acosta, and Ryan Euler. Although I don't need to include Lane here, really, because he mostly just yells. And it's not even like coherent yelling, it's just him screaming. Because Lane, I heard that last map, buddy. I heard that last map where you were just yelling the entire time. And of course, anyone who knows the team knows it's Josh. Because he's usually the only person talking half the time. Like, for a lot of these team fights, Josh is most of the person talking. And yes, Isaac threw jokes a lot, but then he also, like, got dead quiet for a lot of the games because you guys are just intently focusing. Yes, Lane, we all implicitly know the meanings to your scream. Because that's totally how this works. Face Check King. Award given the esports athlete most likely to randomly stumble into an enemy. And there's a lot of enemies who do randomly stumble into people very frequently. Daniel Hendricks, Tyler Leitz, Juan Gonzalez, Ben Straley, and Ben Lear. You guys are all really good at this. And once again, this is really hard to decide, I'm not gonna lie. This is really hard to decide between Tyler, Juwan, and Ben Straley, and I ended up giving it to Tyler. Because half the time, he'd stumble into someone, and then get the kill, and then go back to the team. I actually don't know how Tyler did it half the time. But, like, he would face check so frequently. Although, not downplaying Daniel and Juwan walking into every single bush blind with zero vision, because, you know, that's the that's the play. MVP award. This is given to the esports athlete who is most valuable to their specific team. I have Ryan Euler, Haley Becker, Logan Bettenhausen, Colton Hampson, and Riley Habercorn. They all put in a lot of time towards their teams, and although they may have not been nominated by the opposing team as the MVP, they really put the work in. And this was really hard to decide because I had to think of who made the most impact without it being overt sometimes. So it's hard to see this, but in the end, I give it to Riley. Because Riley allowed the Overwatch team to play radically differently. They could play so much differently with Riley on the team because they could blindly walk into any team fight they wanted and they'd probably be alive at the end. Because Riley. So, like, he allowed the Overwatch team to change how they played. Hey, he didn't only heal Logan. Okay, most of the time. But he allowed the Overwatch team to play really differently. And that stepped up their game this year and brought them into this third place we just took this year. So, I give MVP for that team to Riley. Coach choice. This is an award given to the esports athlete who I want on my coaching staff the most. And no, that does not mean you're a coach automatically next year. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. So I have Lane Smith, Ajith Vaiju, Colton Hampson, Ryan Euler, and Caden Meyer. All of whom, and the qualities I was looking for was leadership, sound mental, communicative, and a solid all-around player who thinks about the game. And I had a really, 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 really hard time deciding this one, so I didn't decide on one. I decided on two. I have Lane and Ajith. I would both want on my coaching staff next year, and they also already offered it. But I want them both on coaching staff next year because, one, they know the game a lot better than I do, and two, as much as they don't think they do, they really do help the underclassmen improve. They've given consistent advice to underclassmen, and I know that both Ajith and Lane helped the JV team improve. So, if they want to keep doing it, contact me and I'll get you set up. Hey, Ajith, sometimes roasting helps. Okay, so class of 2020, we'll recognize our seniors this year. We are actually a small team comparatively to most major organizations. Napier North had like 250 kids try out. We had 30. We have 30 players. So for how small a team we are, we played with our seniors from this year played a total of 97 matches. 97 actual competitive official matches, plus like a gigantic amount of practice. So our seniors, in order from alphabetic, we have Ajith, who provided me this lovely picture this morning at, let's go find the DM time, only a week late. He gave it to me at 1:28 p.m. So Ajith was a team captain and shot caller for the Overwatch team. He played on the Overwatch team both last year and this year, taking 4th in state last year and 3rd in state this year. He is going to be attending Lincoln Land Community College, majoring in business, and playing for their esports team. It's a half-ride scholarship, if I remember correctly. And he's playing for the esports team under the guidance of the Springfield head coach, Dalton McGee. Favorite memory is the road trip to 2019-2020 LAN in Naperville, of which I was tortured the entire way up there because, my God, that trip was hell. I love you guys, but man, that trip was hard. Next we have Riley, with this wonderful picture that doesn't even look like him. That does not look like you, Riley, at all. Like, it does not. So Riley I have labeled as the Mercy Main. And he's also the person who kept Logan in check most of the time because Logan would kind of go out otherwise. And so he was only on team for 1 year, but he managed to help us bring in third in state. And props to him, he's going to be going to U of I Chicago, majoring in computer science, which is going to be really hard. And then favorite memory is hosting Springfield at school with the LAN and beating them 3-0 because always like to rub it in Coach McGee's face. Next senior is Colton Hampson. He has a weird transition in his team, or in the team these past couple of years, because he was shot caller and team captain this year on the varsity team and last year's part of the JV team. So he took top 8 both years, and future plans, as of when I wrote this, he had nothing planned, so still Colton. And he says his favorite memory is making new friends to the team. He was the guy who was in my classroom every single day, so much so they just made him a teacher's assistant to make it easier on me. So I wouldn't have to kick him out. He just got to grade my stuff then for me. Worked for me. Lastly, for seniors, we have Lane Smith, who pulled double duty. He was both main tank and jungler on the Overwatch and League teams. And he also played Smash for us for a while. He played and got 4th in state and 3rd in state in Overwatch 2 years in a row, and then grabbed top 8 this past year in League. He's going to be attending Lincoln Land, majoring in software engineering or nursing. He hadn't decided yet at the time of writing. And his favorite memory is competing in the LAN finals at NIU in Naperville, which I really wish we could have gone to, because the LAN this year is going to be really cool. It's actually going to be held on the stage at Naperville North High School. So it'll be a really cool event if we got to hold it, but we never got to make it happen. But he's going to be majoring in that. He's also been working with Ajith at Lincoln Land as well, playing on the Overwatch team there. So our coaching staff is myself, who as director and head coach. We had Quentin Coleman, which many students know as Q. He helped with Overwatch and came in and helped the JV team kind of recenter themselves and work on their mental. And then Mr. Brockamp worked with the Rocket League guys and really helped them improve their mental game as well and kept them focused during a lot of our matches. So I was really happy to have both of them volunteer to help this year because it's still a volunteer position. So some acknowledgments I'd like to make to thank for this school year was all the principals at GHS, Doug Szynski, Sarah Dowis, Ryan Green, Justin Joyner, all really helped make this happen because I needed support from administration to make this happen. Dusty Burke, the athletics director, guided me along the way and helped me make sure we were financially stable, as well as taking matches and making decisions that were, well, proper for the team. Josh Mulvaney and the BCSD IT staff I owe a lot to, because that computer lab wouldn't exist otherwise. Those guys made sure we got everything paid for and made sure that we had everything set up how we needed to be. And I could just message Josh out of the blue and get something fixed. When we had that computer going bad, we had that computer going bad that had a bad, like, really high CPU temp. I messaged Josh and it was like fixed in like 2 days. Then I have our assistant superintendent, Dr. Douglas Wood and Jennifer Farnsworth. The support from the top end of the administration really helped push this forward from the summer, because starting last summer, the superintendents pushed to make this whole thing happen. And then Dalton McGee from Springfield, I bounced a lot of ideas off of him, and he's helped me with casting and doing a bunch of stuff otherwise. And then the IHSCA staff and admins, of which I am one of them. And then thank you to the GHS custodial staff for putting up with us taking over one of their rooms, because the esports room is technically a storage room they cleared out for us. So thanks to them. And then this thing I want to start this year. It's GHS Esports Hall of Fame. it's just for players who made just an outstanding impact. And for his outstanding work in in both League and Overwatch, his persistence in the face of a lot of challenges, I put Lane Smith as the first inductee in the Hall of Fame for GHS Esports. I'm hoping I continue that moving forward and induct more players every year. But Lane went above and beyond all time requirements. He mentored underclassmen. He took on a new role out of the blue, which is really hard, especially in a brand new game. And he could flex play pretty much any role we needed him to. And I'm just really, really happy to have a player on the team that can do these things. I'm going to be sad to see him go. I've made Coach McGee promise to take good care of him at Lincoln Land, although I might be joining them as a coach. So I'm really happy to have Lane on the team, and he's going to be our first Hall of Fame inductee going forward. Plans for next year. This is all temporary. None of this is actually, official. But I want to add more games next year. I want to add Valorant and Apex, as well as many more, which I love how the Valorant and Apex logos are the same logo. Just flipped upside down. So I want to add those to the team next year, hopefully, maybe more. We'll see. I can't add certain games, but I have to get these approved through administration and through the IHSCA staff, so we'll see. We're now playing as part of NASIF and IHSCA, as IHSCA is now going to be a subsidiary, or I don't know how to phrase this. We're a subset of NASIF now, so we're going to be operating with a national team, national organization. So we will be playing against teams from across the nation eventually if we go high enough in brackets. Something that I was brought up today when I wanted to go make videos is I want to stream every match. Wizards 101. Riley, get out of here. I want to stream every match. Every single match that we can. So it's going to mean I need students who want to volunteer for that. And we'll schedule times alternating and make it happen, because I want more ways to publicize the hard work you players put in and hopefully get more you recruited. I'm going to be working on a refreshed jersey design. I like this design and all, but I've been advised to go with an all-red design of some sort, so I'm going to be working with Zero Gen to get that figured out. Hey, I'm required to use this logo. This is the only logo I'm allowed to use, is a G. So that's all I got. And if you have any more non-crazy suggestions, you guys know how to contact me, reach out, and get these things sent to me, because it'll be really helpful to get some more ideas. And if people want to help me manage social media, that'd be nice too. But other than that, that's all I have. Once again, thank you to every player who played in the team this year, everyone who put up with me for the past 2 years now. I know some teams have had their ups and downs, and it's been really awesome to see the growth of these players over the course of the 2 years. We added many more members this year, and I want to keep adding more and more next year as well. Next year is going to be more hectic, and we're going to have more games going on and more matches and things overlapping, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to keep showing we're a consistent school, and even though we're in Cornland and have like a quarter of the students that most of these schools do, we can still put up results, because we have shown that we can make things happen with these limited resources. So with that being said, I'm going to make this time now. Are there any questions in chat that I can answer? I'm not doing Minecraft Hunger Games. I'm not doing Rainbow Six. I'm not doing CS. I'm not doing Fortnite. Done. Stop. Any other questions from chat that I can answer right now? Brawlhalla, no. Nobody plays it. Ajit, that's weird. No. Pizza party at my house. No. 1, social distancing. 2, no. You guys already owe me pizza money from next year. You guys want to see my hair straight down. Like, not you want to see my hair straight down, don't you? You want to see it going straight down. Oh my god. You happy? God, I hate this. I want to buzz it all off. Why can't Torb mains get Grandmaster? Well, there actually is a Grandmaster Torb main in the IHSEA. He's Eclipse. He plays for Napier Central. What's a part? This is the part line, guys. This is the part line. Middle part? What am I? The 1920s? My God. No. No. What other crap do I have lying in this office? I have this that Lane made at the start of the year for our recruiting thing that I'm going to be keeping because he hates the Rocket League logo, just so I can keep it. Ryan, you're gonna quit anyway. No, I'm saying there's a Grand Champ at Napier North. Or Napier Central, who's a Grand Champ Torbjorn player. So, yeah, Naperville has a lot of good players. Hey, I'm figuring out. Hi, Ryan. Okay, well, middle part. No! No! I do what I want. The answer is no. Hey, do I time out a GIF? Do I time a GIF out of the channel? Your graduation present is me letting you exist at Lincoln Land, because I gave you guys a really strong recommendation there. So, with that being said, I'm going to close the stream for now. It's been a fantastic year, guys, and I'm really happy we can make this happen. So, let's keep it up for next year, and look forward to seeing everyone in the fall. And if any of the former players want to come by next year and help with coaching, you're more than welcome, because I don't have enough time to do stuff. So, I'll see you guys later.